How I built the Hyrox gloves, I couldn't find. Whenever I started Hyrox about 18 months ago, I couldn't find gloves that worked for me. The reason I was looking for gloves was because whenever I started Hyrox training, I was watching YouTube videos of the best in the world at that time. So Hunter McIntyre, people like this. Basically, I could see that they were wearing gloves. They wore them from the start of the race and took them off, or they put them on during the race and took them off. So I knew for a fact that they saw the benefits of wearing the gloves, but it seemed that they didn't want to wear them for the whole race for some reason. At this stage, designing my own gloves was still a million miles away, but I did go to sports shops, tried to see what gloves might work. They were either too thick, too much padding, they're more for weightlifting, they're too stiff, they weren't flexible enough, they were too hot. Other gloves were full finger gloves that just didn't work. Nothing in the shops was there. I went online, googled it, couldn't find any Hyrox gloves and couldn't really find anything that people were using either that were suitable. There was some OCR type stuff, but again, it was generally full fingers and more for in the cold, whereas in Hyrox you're roasting. What I had to do was search for gloves on Amazon and find ones that were really thin, lightweight, that had some grip, and then I would cut the fingers away from them, cut big chunks out of the back, chunks out of the front, try and cut away some of the wrist strap and to make them as lightweight as possible, as small as possible, but leave enough grip to use. I was going through this hassle of doing this, and then I thought, right, if nobody's going to make these gloves, then I'll just make them myself. To go from a thought to design to manufacturing, it's not easy, and that's what I'm going to take you through today and try and explain why I've done it. Hyrox is a young sport. People still don't even know how to train properly for Hyrox, so the gear is still catching up. I have a strong feeling that 10 years time people will be like, why did people have gloves, big gardening gloves that they were putting on at the start of a race and then taking them off? Like, how old school was that? I have a feeling that we're going to be all wearing gloves, lightweight gloves, through the whole way through the race. I think if people can get out of their head wearing these gloves makes their hands too hot, because to me that doesn't make sense. It is awkward and it's difficult at the start, I get it, it was for me, but it's just like everything else. Socks make your feet warm, but we still have to wear them. A lot of women wear tops, they can't go topless like the men. You know, the tops are uncomfortable and make them hot, they still have to wear them. And the gloves are a little bit like that as well, it's just getting used to it. But anyway, the way I've designed them is that you don't notice that you're wearing them because they're so lightweight. The other side of the coin is some people wear sweatbands, and like, to me that doesn't make sense, because yeah, your body wants to breathe and to sweat out. So if you can wear sweatbands, I don't understand how you couldn't wear gloves, because sweatbands going to cover more of your wrist and stop more heat getting out, whereas these gloves are ventilated, they let the air through. So first of all, what I had to do was the boring administration stuff. I had to legally set up a company, I had to set up a bank account. All this stuff really isn't what you want to be doing. It costs a lot of money, developing the creative side and doing the gloves and testing them out in training, but you have to take these steps. On top of that, there's also find a name and finding domain names and trying ones and checking they're already taken and going back and getting other ones. A lot of administration burden, a lot of time, a lot of money, and again, I'm doing a 9 to 5, so you know, this isn't easy, but it is that kind of those loopholes set up that you have to go through for company formation. On top of that, you've also got patents, okay? So I had to get patents for the logos and for the designs themselves. These gloves, I don't see anybody else that's done Hyrox specific gloves. I have, they're trademarked, they're patent protected. And then there's also things such as different, as I said, logos and designs that you have to go through, because you're building a brand and a name, and that has to be important as well. So again, all of this is a money pit, and hence, you know, you'd wonder why you keep doing it. The reason why I was doing it is because I believe in it. The next step was to actually get the thought from my head into sketches and designs and something that we can use. And how do you start with that? I have an idea, but I have no idea about design and I have no idea about tech packs or anything. So even to research companies that can help you out to do this. And then eventually you find companies that can help and you speak to them, but like, how do you get your thoughts in your head to them so they can put it onto a sketch and then onto a tech pack? So much back and forth, and there's a lot of trial and error, and they come up with ideas that just aren't right, and then you have to look at things like color, fabric, breathability, stitching, grip, all these things. Like, the back and forth went on for 18 months more or less. Then if you're lucky, you get to a stage whereby, okay, you're getting close to a sample, something that's going to work. And I was just always so keen on making sure I tried these gloves in really hard training sessions and tried them in Hyrox races, and if they frayed at all, they went back. And this back and forth happened over 20 times until I got a pair that no matter how hard I trashed them in training and used the ropes and the kettlebells and everything and used them in race, until they got to the stage whereby after I used them and then I washed them in the washing machine, that's very important. I wanted to be thrown in with my gym gear, so there's nothing special. And then when they still look as if they haven't been used, then I knew, okay, now we've got it. Now we've got that durability. For me, that was so important. If I'm putting my name to anything, if I want this brand to exist, it has to live up to it. So it has to look good, be functional, and perform well. Packaging, you know, that's another huge part. So back and forth with finding a supplier, meeting them, looking at type of cardboard you're going to use. Are you going to use embossed? Is it going to be shiny? What's the text going to be? Is it photos, no photos? How does the box itself work? There's a whole world of stuff, and again, you're visiting the manufacturing plant back and forth trying to get it right, looking at stickers, looking at text and quotes inside the box, all of those types of things. So you might ask yourself, why bother do all this? Listen, this doesn't pay the bills for me at all. I have a 9-to-5 job that I need to do, and I do, but I'm passionate about this. I find it quite hard. I find it really hard to do my 9-to-5, to do my training, to try and stay at the level that I can at least qualify for world championships, which basically means I have to podium or win races, do all that training and then set this up on the side. But the reason I do it is because I strongly believe in it. I believe that these gloves are game changers. I think they look good as well for people that want to be matchy with their outfits, but I think the functionality of them is brilliant, because once you wear them, you realize that they're not going to bother you, and it just feels like wearing your Whoop or wearing something else like that. You get used to it. They aren't too hot. They don't make you overheat, not at all. You'll be sweating the same way. But what they do give you is help on that ski arc. They give you help, massive help on the sled pull. I remember in Nice World Championships in 2024 trying to pull that, it was just slipping through my hands, and the grips and the gloves really help with that. The farmer's carry, without doubt, they help, and I have one of the strongest farmer's carry in my division, always have. And then also the wall balls. Those wall balls are soaking, slipping through. The reason you see Elite 15 and the likes of Rich Ryan, Lio Mendez, and even on the ladies side, Sinead Bent carrying gloves during the relay to put them on. They all know that gloves help, but none of them have found a glove yet that they can wear during the whole race, or absolutely still put it on when they need it and then take it off when they don't want it. But these ones are specifically designed for Hyrox, and that's why I do this, because I have a passion for it and I strongly believe they're going to be a game changer. Finally, it's not only the gloves, okay? So now that I've set up the company, I've got it function, you can go online, buy the gloves, they'll get delivered. That's great. There's other products that I'm really excited that I'm bringing. So this is only the beginning, and we've got these other products coming that I'm really excited about. I also think they're going to be game changers, especially in the Middle East. I'm excited for that. That's it. Wanted to tell you how, I had to create these gloves because they weren't in the market. So I decided to build my own, and that's how I've done it, whilst also having a 9-to-5 and all the steps between it. I hope that may have helped you. I hope you found it interesting. There are going to be really good specific Hyrox products coming out. I hope you like them. Thanks very much. Bye.